A few years ago, I stumbled upon a Venetian manuscript from 1566. It's a book called Le Secret des Secrets, literally translated as The Secret of Secrets. Written by a man named Antonio Vallada, it talks about the markets in Tunis where you could buy slaves younger than 10. The author is shocked. It's asking, how can they carry out such depravity? He answers with a chill. It's business. Think about it. In a world before robots, before iPhones, when work was done by human hands, enslaving people wasn't just about owning property. It was about owning labor, a person whose life belonged to you until death. So why are we still talking about ancient Rome and not modern Yemen? Here's the thing. Slavery never died. It evolved. And today we're diving into the darkest corners of history to expose the truth. Slavery today. Forget about Egyptian pyramids and Roman arenas. We're looking at what's happening right now, not in some history books. The world today will take you to North Korea, where neighbors spy on neighbors. In Africa, where tribes sell their own people. In India, where children are bought and sold for domestic servitude. This is not ancient history. This is not news reports. This is a personal journey to confront the uncomfortable reality of our times. This journey is more than a documentary. It's a commitment to expose injustice, to defy censorship, and bring you stories the world wants to keep hidden. You see, even in 2023, slavery persists. And if you're watching this, you're part of something bigger. So let's dive into the heart of darkness and uncover the uncomfortable truth together. Welcome to my channel. Around the 15th century, while the Atlantic slave trade was already booming, another slave industry was rising in West Africa. The Sahelian Trade. The scale was smaller, but no less sinister. While European traders focused on the Americas, local kingdoms along the Sahara specialized in supplying slaves to North Africa and Europe. The target market were wealthy merchants and landowners seeking domestic servants, artisans, or farm workers. It wasn't just about race or religion anymore. For example, black Africans were valued for their expertise in agriculture, especially in cotton cultivation. The Venetian author described how Tunisians bought African weavers who could produce high-quality cloth unavailable in Europe. At the slave market in Mogador, Europeans mingled with Arabs and Moors, all united by the singular pursuit of buying human lives. European traders would arrive on ships from France, Germany, Italy, Spain. They didn't want spices or silk, they wanted people. African leaders knew exactly what they had, and they capitalized on it. Enslaved people from West Africa became some of the most expensive commodities, costing as much as 2,000 Venetian grossi, roughly equivalent to 18 months' wages for a skilled craftsman. That's a lot of money. The masters of the Sahelian trade understood the value of their human inventory. Let's meet Mansa Abubakar, the second of the Kingdom of Songhai. Ruling from 1493 to 1528, Abubakar was a devout Muslim. Historian John O'Hunwick describes him as having exceptional powers of calculation and a remarkable memory. Ishg was no stranger to power. When he seized control of Gao in 1528, he inherited a vast empire and a lucrative slave trade. He took it a step further. In 1532, Ishg ordered the execution of 2 travelers who criticized his slave trade, sending a clear message to the world: profit was divine. His empire boomed. Osia became immensely wealthy, and his court flourished with art and literature. Yet there was a problem. Ishg's insatiable desire for wealth extended beyond the trade routes. He wanted control over those trade routes, particularly the gold trade. And to achieve this, he needed allies. Enter Leo Africanus, an explorer who had traveled extensively throughout the Muslim world. Leo was in Morocco in 1532 when he heard rumors of Oskia's slave trade. Intrigued by the wealth on display, he decided to visit Gao. When he met Oskia, Leo was stunned. Oskia welcomed him warmly, treating him like a brother. Leo marveled at the king's intelligence and charm. But Leo wasn't there for sightseeing. He was on a mission to collect information for the Spanish crown. Morocco's sea had fallen under Spanish influence, and Ishg was a threat to their interests in the region. Shortly after his meeting with Leo, Oskia hosted a banquet, inviting diplomats from Portugal, France, and Spain. It was an extravagant affair, meant to showcase the wealth of Songhai. But behind the scenes, Oskia was preparing for war. He assembled an army, eager to expand his empire. Conquered vast territories, amassing great wealth, but also a massive amount of captives whom he chained in the courtyard of his palace. The sight of these prisoners moved Leo to tears. He witnessed firsthand the brutal reality of the slave trade. Soon, however, Leo found himself caught in the middle of the growing conflict between Songhai and Morocco. Captured by Askia's forces, Leo faced a grim future. The intelligent king recognized the value of knowledge and saw in Leo a potential asset. Leo was offered a choice: convert to Islam and become a slave, or die. Faced with imminent execution, Leo converted and became a slave to Askia. He spent 5 years in the royal household, enduring physical abuse and mental torment. Throughout his captivity, Leo remained defiant, never betraying the trust of his European counterparts. And then his fortunes changed unexpectedly. Askia, despite his immense wealth and power, died in 1561 without a clear heir. This plunged Songhai into turmoil and allowed Morocco to capitalize on the instability. A Moroccan force led by Juder Pasha stormed Gao, marking the end of the Songhai Empire. Leo Africanus, along with many others, was freed from captivity. He emerged from his 5 years of imprisonment deeply traumatized, bearing both physical and psychological scars. Determined to share his experiences, Leo penned his account of travels in Africa. The narrative not only documented his adventures, but also served as a testament to the horrors of the slave trade, shedding light on a dark chapter of history. And that's why when someone talks about slavery, it's not about some distant past. It's about the Leo Africanus who survived unimaginable horrors, so that we could understand. So while we watch movies about ancient slavery, the descendants of those enslaved are still fighting for recognition of their stolen heritage. Slavery isn't just about chains and shackles. It's about erasing history. Now imagine being sold as a slave and your whole family tree disappearing. It's terrifying. Imagine being denied education, healthcare, and even basic rights. Slavery isn't just about forced labor, it's about keeping people in the dark. Look around you. Many people don't even know about the horrifying practices of the Ottoman Devshirme system or the Sahelian Trade. Slavery isn't just a sad past. It's a conspiracy of silence. We need to use social media to expose the ugly truth, to tell stories the world tries to hide. Don't just follow. Be a part of the movement to end slavery today. Share our videos and support our mission. Together we can amplify our voices and make a real difference. Slavery isn't a story. It's our responsibility. So remember, spread awareness, support survivors, and demand justice. Because in 2023, slavery is still happening, and we must be the ones to stop it. Thank you.